Hello, I'm live. I'm going to keep this really brief because a lot of people have done videos on this thing to death. If you don't know what they're talking about, in October 2017 in Short Pump, Virginia, some white football players in middle school held down some black football players in middle school and dry humped them and called them racial slurs while they were in the football locker room. Now, some people are saying they simulated sexual assault. I believe that was sexual assault because I think if any adult did that to another adult, they would call that sexual assault or at least sexual battery. Now, in terms of what that has to do with martial arts, there's this thing I've seen where people either reacted to videos or even a couple of other people's videos where they're saying that the boys who were victimized are weak and they should have known how to defend themselves. That there's some kind of flaw either in the boys or in their parenting, and that's why they were chosen by these rapists to be raped. I think we're only doing this because these are black males. These are young black males, and for some reason we expect a black boy to man up. Why are we expecting boys to man up? They're boys. Even if they had training, I could see them being psychologically overwhelmed by something like this because this isn't something that a child should expect. No child should expect to go to school and go in the football locker room and then all of a sudden expect to be sexually violated by their teammates, by a bunch of other children. So I think we need to take the blame away from the children. The only people who are to blame are the people who did it. I don't blame the parents. I don't blame society. I don't blame the coaches. Unless the coach ordered them to do it, which it doesn't look like that's what happened. I blame the individuals responsible for the act because by about 13 years old, you have a conscience and you should know right from wrong. They did it because they took sadistic and sadomasochistic pleasure in humiliating their teammates based on race. Now, there was another cry that the parents need to teach their children self-defense, and parents don't teach their children self-defense anymore. Not everybody is a fighter. That's something that I tell a lot of people. Not everybody is a fighter. There is actually an inborn human aversion to hurting another human being. That's what most people have. Psychopaths, from everything I've read, don't have that. But most people do, and you have to learn how to get yourself to hurt another person. And that's where martial arts lessons would come in. I think if the boys have had martial arts training, now I just said that it still may not have prevented it. That's true. I think martial arts training would increase the odds that they would fight back. That if there were little small, what they call microaggressions, to see if they could get away with it, the boys might have been able to shut it down. But it's still no guarantee. Because, without going into detail, someone had tried something like that with one of my students, and they knew that he was strong and all that. And they were none too successful because he laid them all out. According to him, they were all laying on the floor, holding their chest, their stomach, going, "Oh my God, we forgot you knew karate." Even though it's Taekwondo. So, and that was black on black, by the way. And be thankful I'm not giving details as to who and where it happened. But that was black on black. So some people want to try to make this a 100% racial spin. The only reason why there's a racial spin there is because they used racial slurs. But believe me, I think they just picked the black kids. And if the black kids weren't there, they'd have picked someone else who was there. They're just going to victimize who's there. Maybe they have a preference for victimizing the black kids, but they're demented, disturbed children. So I think if the black kids weren't there, they're just going to pick somebody else. So we need to just get off of the backs of victims when they are sexually assaulted, especially if it's a man. Bad things happen, in case you didn't know, bad things happen to people that you can't control. So we need to get off of blaming those kids for for what happened to them and place the blame where it needs to be placed. On the perpetrators, okay? And in terms of parents teaching their kids self-defense, you know, I think a lot of parents need to take self-defense themselves. A lot of people think they know how to fight. Everybody thinks they know how to fight, and you don't. And even if you know how to fight, you really don't fight that well. You don't fight as well as you think you do, because I see it all the time when people come to my classes. So, like I always say, if you're near me, you can just go to the links on the channel or just Google my name with Taekwondo Karate. And you could find, if you're in the area near me, you can find out where my classes are. So, that's what I've got to say. Let's lend our hearts out to the victims. They are not soft. They are not flawed. They were victims of crime, okay? They're victims of a crime. Peace.